Soccer, a sport that has started wars, a sport that has ended wars, a sport that has attracted kings and queens, presidents and premiers, the famous and near famous of the world. But most of all, it is the sport which has won the hearts and stirred the passions of the common man. Like a high-speed chess game, the players attack and counterattack, searching for ways to break through the enemy defenses. The skill is in controlling the ball without using the hands, deftly with the feet or the head, moving the highly inflated ball from player to player, dribbling over the turf, probing for a shot at the opponent's goal. The swift movement of players, sudden bursts of speed, the ball rocketing, the net billowing out in dramatic evidence of soccer's moment of truth, a goal. Perhaps no man in the history of sport has gained such worldwide adulation as that which has been heaped upon the brilliant star from Brazil, Pelé. Pelé has chosen to finish his fabled career developing and publicizing the game that made him famous in uncharted territory, America. It is the power of the legend of Pelé that has turned the attention of Americans to the game of soccer. A game they did not know or understand, a game they regarded as foreign. But what they saw, they liked and wanted to see again. The impact of Pelé's signing was immediate. Spectacular goals, increasing crowds, and a worldwide awareness that soccer had truly come of age in America. Pelé is soccer. He is Babe Ruth and Jack Dempsey, Bobby Orr and Oscar Robertson, Johnny Unitas and Arnold Palmer, the star of stars. Pelé burst into the world scene while still a teenager nearly 2 decades ago. In the years that have followed, more has been written and said about the man and his exploits than perhaps any other man in the history of sport.
For the reason I come to play in the United States, for the reason I don't want to play more in Italy or in Germany or in Europe or South America, where the soccer is normal, like Brazil. In the United States is wonderful because I start my life in soccer again. Many players want to come to the United States. Until now, I received letter, phone calls from big names. They want to come to the United States. I think I have a little influence in this kind of players for to come to the United States.
And Pelé's influence did attract stars to the United States. Superstars like George Best from England and George Quinaglia from Italy. Best with the Los Angeles Aztecs, controversial and flamboyant, a brilliant goal scorer out of Belfast, who gained his reputation playing for Manchester United of England, one of the world's most famous teams. Best, the impish bad boy of soccer, whose colorful and sensational antics made him front-page news both on and off the playing field. Quinaglia, the powerful and swift scoring star of the New York Cosmos, is remarkably adept with his feet for a man so large. The Italian who began his career in Wales was an immediate hit with the Cosmos. He led the North American Soccer League in scoring and topped off his spectacular initial campaign in America by scoring 5 goals in a single game. Quinaglia shredded the Miami defense in Yankee Stadium with a devastating display of dexterity and power, a performance only a true star could attain. But Pelé remains the star of stars, the soccer player's soccer player. With the Cosmos, Pelé found a renewed zeal and fervor for the game, and the old magic returned to his feet. Once again, he was performing his brilliant skills of ball control, shooting and passing, setting up sensational goals for teammates to delight record crowds from coast to coast. English star Bobby Moore, now a player coach in the NASL, looked at Pelé and said, "Ah, Pelé. He's still searching for the ultimate goal." And indeed, Pelé continues that search. Against Miami, he once again reached the heights, somersaulting through the air to score spectacularly with a bicycle kick. Moment, a golden moment, captured on film and preserved to be relived over and over. In slow motion, it becomes a soccer ballet as ball and man soar to a graceful rendezvous in space, creating a goal of beauty. Often tried, it's a feat seldom achieved even by a player with the skills and artistry of Pelé.
In my life, in 19-20 years, I made just 4 or 5 gold bicycle kick. That was a very important and beautiful goal.
The bicycle kick is one of the most difficult movements that an athlete can do in a soccer game. You must find out how close are the opponents. You must find out how high the ball is flying, what's the velocity of the ball is flying, and to meet the proper time when you go up to reach the ball at that moment. And after that, you score the goal. It's something unique in soccer. It's like a perfect pitching game in the World Series. That's the reason because Pelé was so happy that this had happened in America. It's really something historical for the American soccer.
And so they come from all walks of life, children, parents, grandparents, to see the game that has captured the imagination and the passion of millions of people all over the globe. Call it soccer, or by the name football as it's known in most of the world. It is now the century-old sport which has been born anew in the United States and is attracting new legions of fans.
Once the Americans become acclimated to the very simple rules of the game, I think it'll be right up there with baseball as a national pastime.
Soccer is a game that everybody's involved with.
Just the excitement and something going on all the time.
I like soccer because the dribbling and the scoring, and I play it a lot.
The people involved in the game, I think, are a very special quality.
A game that requires the most out of the individual.
It's a fast sport and it doesn't stop.
It's a scientific game.
Athletically, it takes stamina, speed, strength, and agility.
Being a soccer player myself, the way you, like the wings, they go down the line and they just send the ball right in and they just shoot it in. It's really good.
Now for Americans who have embraced soccer, there is a dream, a goal to shoot at. Soccer Bowl, the championship of the North American Soccer League, played in ultra-modern temples to sport like the Kingdome in Seattle. Soccer Bowl 76 featured Minnesota in white and Toronto in red. The action was fast and furious over the synthetic carpet of green as the teams probed and jockeyed, waiting for a break. The break finally came on a free kick for Toronto at the edge of the Minnesota penalty box. Veteran star Eusebio drilled a remarkable shot through the wall of defenders. His elation provides dramatic proof that this was a big moment in his illustrious career. With a 1-goal lead, Toronto tries to hang on as Minnesota battles back. This shot narrowly misses, tying the game. As the pressure mounts, Ivan Lukačević races past desperate Minnesota defenders. The score is superb, second goal, and Toronto is on its way to the title. Toronto receives the NASL championship trophy and takes a victory lap, long a tradition in soccer all over the world. Soccer in America. Its roots can be traced to immigrants arriving at this nation's shores late in the 19th century, bringing with them their cultures, their traditions, and their games. It grew and thrived in the factory yards and as Sunday afternoon diversion in city parks, where neighborhood competition still flourishes. But as other sports took off into professional leagues and big business, soccer remained an ethnic pastime and continued in relative obscurity until it suddenly exploded into world prominence on one dramatic afternoon. The setting was the 1950 World Cup in Brazil. Mighty England was to play the USA. We never knew they played soccer, laughed the English, but all the power of a great English team could not penetrate the U.S. defense that day. More than a quarter of a century later, the soccer world still remembers. Walter Barr, one of the country's outstanding college coaches, will never forget that day of glory.
I've always been given credit for having the assist on the goal. It's not really an assist. I took a shot from about 28 yards out, and our center forward, a fellow by the name of Joe Gaetjens, came in on the fly and headed the ball in the opposite corner. The goalkeeper was moving one direction and the ball went in the opposite side.
As a college coach, Walter Barr is very much a part of the soccer explosion in the United States. It is through dedication such as his that U.S. soccer fortunes are spiraling upward. Not too many years ago, college soccer athletes were merely keeping in shape for higher profile sports. Now college players are displaying more sophisticated skills than ever before.
I give a lot of credit to the North American Soccer League in 1967 when their games were televised. It got the word out to large portions of the population that had never seen soccer before. We get a lot of young players that are as good as players any place in the world. There are a couple of handicaps that they face. One would be you have to have good competition. Whether it's lack of being able to see top performers play week in and week out, whether it's lack of good coaching, or whether it's a combination of all these things. Spectator standpoint, it's a moving game. There are no timeouts. There is a lot of action. There is a lot of strategy. And even though soccer may be criticized in this country as a low-scoring affair, a 3-2 game would be a 21-14 game in football. Most people will be satisfied with that.
The game continues to develop and grow at all levels, especially in the colleges where many of the future professional stars are perfecting their talent. The 1976 NCAA championship in Philadelphia's Franklin Field featured Indiana, a team composed entirely of American players, against the University of San Francisco, dominated by players from abroad. That an all-United States team got to the finals was surprise enough, but Indiana, in white, put early pressure on San Francisco with an aggressive style that was exciting to behold. The underdog Hoosiers missed a golden opportunity to score when a penalty shot hit the post and bounced away. San Francisco goalie Peter Onatoff held off Indiana with acrobatic saves, and the smooth, well-drilled San Francisco team began to reverse the early momentum. Andy Gray deftly moves the ball through the Indiana defense, only to be foiled at the last second. But San Francisco could not be denied. Andy Arteglu bursts into an open space and drives a magnificent swerving shot just inside the post for the only goal of the contest to give San Francisco a 1-0 victory. Its second consecutive National Collegiate Athletic Association title. But the story of soccer in the United States is also the story of its youth, taking to the game, learning it, developing skills which might someday make them professional stars. It is epitomized in Kyle Rote Jr., son of a famous football player, a standout athlete who passed over the more conventional sports to gain fame in soccer as a high-scoring forward of the Dallas Tornado and a former NASL Rookie of the Year. Like many of the league players, Kyle Rote devotes time to working with boys and girls who will be the future of soccer in the USA.
So let's just say that Peter needs an inside of a left foot, okay? I'm going to hit it there. He can play it inside of his left foot back to me if I run there. Because he may be better with his right foot or his left foot or the inside of a foot or the outside of a foot. So it's got to be firm, all right? Got to run. Not too hard, and then he can play it right back.
Since the early 1970s, there have been an increasing number of Americans in the professional soccer game, in the North American Soccer League. And with the increasing numbers, I think we've also seen that there's an increasing degree of skill, an increasing degree of dedication to the sport. And combining that with the better foreign players that have been coming into this country, obviously Pelé and Canalia and Georgie Best and players of that caliber, it's allowed those of us who are young American players to learn from the best that there is. A youngster's total input into a game is not 3 times at bat, or it's not blocking and never touching the ball. A youngster can be involved in soccer and run for 90 minutes, become very healthy from doing that. But if he's willing to run, and he's willing to work, he's willing to spend the time working on his skills, he can be Pelé, because that's exactly what Pelé did. Pelé is of average, or less than average height, 5'8", weighs 155 pounds, comes from the worst economic situation that you can imagine, from a totally unheralded little town in Brazil, and with those humble beginnings, made the world for himself. In my mind, the future of soccer in the United States is great. I certainly love my football, my basketball, my baseball, and I think they will always remain our great national pastimes. But I think that soccer can fit the category of becoming our great international pastime.
The impact of Pelé is felt in many ways, not the least among the youth of America.
It's okay?
Okay.
No problem with your boyfriend?
No problem.
Boys and girls who knew nothing of soccer a few years ago now clamor for autographs from soccer's most famous player and goodwill ambassador. It's not all the God-given gift of talent. Pelé works diligently on the practice field, honing skills and maintaining fitness. Youngsters try to learn the skills and approach the conditioning of a Pelé. He is the most emulated star in the world. Pelé spends almost as much of his time working with young players as he does playing the game. All over the country, he displays his skills at clinics for adoring disciples eager to copy the feats of the master.
First of all, it's very important, your support legs. Your support legs have to be comfortable. Your body, little bit in front, like this, little bit in front. Don't kick like this. Try to put a little bit in front of your body, okay? Keep it going, because if you want to be a big star, big soccer player, you have to practice to work hard, okay?
Okay.
I bring a lot of kids and to see the games. This, I think, is very important because the kids become interested for soccer. They are gonna put the soccer up because he gonna play in few years, more 5 or 10 years. The kids now they're gonna play. I think my contribution in this aspect, I think I help a lot. That's what I come to do here.
Pelé obviously has done a great deal for the league. In my mind, more than bringing in big crowds, more than making New York a good team, which is critical to our league's importance in the world of sport. Other great international stars would not be here unless Pelé had come here first.
Pelé has to be considered one of the great players of all time, and his coming to the States probably has done as much for soccer in the past 3 years as has been done by thousands over the past 25 years to 50 years. He certainly has brought worldwide recognition to the United States and their involvement in soccer.
A little surprise because in the 2 seasons, only 1 year, only the people like me a lot, too much. I didn't expect in few time, but I think I have to say thank you to people that write about soccer, the people on TV and the magazine. Now they give more attention in soccer.
In returning to the game he loves for 3 seasons with the Cosmos, Pelé has unquestionably done more than his share of bringing attention to soccer in the United States. As the popularity of soccer spreads and continues to grow, it is a time for youngsters to dream the sweet reverie of youth, aspiring to someday trod the same byways and fields, to attain the same plateaus, to reach for greatness the way Pelé once dreamed. For it is in those dreams of the youth of America that soccer will grow and thrive and eventually carry the United States to the top in what is well on its way to becoming our international pastime. And in time, from those who dream, there will come once again a player to capture the imagination and the hearts of the world. Another Pelé. Groups can arrange for free group showings by writing to this post office box. Soccer, new game in town, has been brought to you by Panasonic, just slightly ahead of our time. Typical summertime afternoon in the nation's capital.